Well, first off, thank you very much for having me, and it's my pleasure to be here and my honor. Maybe I'll give just some context to what childhood was like, and then leading up to April 23rd, 2016. As a kid, quite naturally, without effort, without trying, certainly without training. If you're enjoying the video and you want to go deeper with me, check out my meditation masterclass. It's unlike anything. It's pinned in the comments below. I would just leave my body. This was very, very normal for me. I would sit down, relax in a chair on my bed, and in 1 second, my consciousness was outside of my body. I knew from the get-go that I was spirit or consciousness or whatever word you want to use. So I never had to wrestle with the idea that I'm the mind and body. I came into this world with complete non-identification to the human experience. I still feel that way. So this was very natural for me. But what I discovered early on, and literally as a child, that my consciousness could go anywhere. And so initially, my consciousness would just roam the house because I kind of figured that was my limitation. But I quickly realized that there absolutely are no limitations. And I would just want to go to the stars. I can remember saying that to myself as a little kid. And when I was out of my body, just my pure intention would literally take me to outside of this realm. And this is how I started to discover different frequencies, different dimensions, different realities. And I had a mantra, believe it or not, as a kid, which is maybe just as weird as the leaving of the body. But the mantra was, wherever it is that I went, I used to just say to myself, I retain all information and knowledge contained within this realm. And I literally used to say that over and over. Who knows where that came from? But I used to say that over and over again. And so these trips into different frequencies, different realities, different dimensions, it seemed like every time I came back, and this was a daily occurrence, every time I came back into my body, I literally felt wiser, more self-aware, closer to the divine, we could say. I also used to say as a kid, which is another check mark for another strange thing. I used to say that if I ever get sick, I'll just heal myself. So, but if someone would have asked me as a kid, okay, how do you do that? I would not have had an answer. I just knew that I knew. I knew that I knew. And we can fast forward about 20 years. At about 24, I taught myself this meditation. I just all of a sudden just started doing this specific meditation, which I still teach to this day. And that meditation allowed me to understand myself better, allowed me to sink into this incarnation a little bit better. It gave me greater understanding of myself and maybe why I am the way that I am and do these strange things and understand these strange things. So that was very helpful at 24. I led a very normal life, worked for different corporations, teaching sales. But I can remember at around 40, I was working for this organization, and I was teaching everyone sales. And all the people that I was teaching and helping would just literally naturally call me sensei and master at work. And I remember the CEO was like, RJ, you cannot have anybody calling you sensei or master at work. I said, yeah, I certainly never asked anybody to address me that. Just call me RJ or Mr. Spina if you want, whatever. But he's like, you cannot have anyone. I said, no problem. I sent out a company-wide email to everybody. Please just address me as RJ, Mr. Spina, buddy. I don't really care, And so all the emails came back. There's hundreds of people. All the emails came back. Sure thing, RJ, sure thing. But then in person right away, yes, master. Yes, master. So at this point, I remember saying to my girlfriend that, I have to stop pretending and leading an ordinary life. I'm just different, and I need to be true to that because it's bleeding through anyway. But I didn't listen to my own advice. And so I continued to work, and lo and behold, the date was April 23rd, 2016. I was very, very ill, very ill. I was told I would only live another 48 hours. I had severe sepsis. I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, Hashimoto's autoimmune disease, hypothyroidism, pancreatitis, thyroiditis, and I became paralyzed permanently. I'm doing air quotes, permanently paralyzed from the chest down because of the sepsis had literally gotten into my spine and crushed my spine. And there's a video of this right on my website. You can see the MRIs of my spine and surgeon's notes and everything. So I had emergency life-saving surgery. And the best way I can describe it, it's not completely accurate, but the best way I can describe it is that when I had awakened from emergency life-saving surgery, I had awakened into authentic cosmic consciousness. And all the things that I was experiencing as a kid, and things like saying, if I ever get sick, I'll heal myself, everything came back to me at a snap of a finger. As soon as I woke up, I remembered everything. Literally, I remembered everything. And that's the only way to say it, because it's a memory. It's a muscle memory. It all came back. And I was explaining to the ICU nurse the higher consciousness, metaphysics, and mechanics of self-healing and self-realization. I was very specific about what it is that I was going to do, how you do these exercises, why they work in the way they do, and that I would unparalyze myself and I'd be perfectly healthy in 100 days. And I still remember the look on her face. It was beyond that I had 3 heads, but at the same time, she was like, "How do you know this?" And the only thing I could say is, "Well, I just remember. I just remember." And so I just went about putting myself back together through intense dedication, 100% focus, unwavering intention to put my body back together. And I knew no one would believe that this was possible. So I had the nurses and the physical therapists and even the doctors literally film me, because I was in this hospital rehab for about eight weeks. And I would have them film me because I knew no one was going to believe I'm going to put myself back together. And you could see in the video, that's also on my website, I start kicking my leg, moving my feet, able to stand up. So I wanted to make sure it was documented. And the only guest that I had that was visiting me during these roughly 2 months or 2.5 months being in the hospital rehab was an unbelievable Chinese medicine expert who's been practicing for nearly 3 decades. He's seen over 75,000 patients, and he was a firsthand witness to what I was doing. And I was explaining everything as I was doing it. And when he would work on me, I would actually explain to him what was actually happening energetically or metaphysically, what was going on in terms of my own healing and the energies, and how I was working with the energies through his intention, and so on. And so if anyone who has the book or doesn't have the book yet, he's the one who wrote the foreword for the book, because he witnessed it and he wanted to talk about what that experience was like. And so since then, and that was April 23rd, 2016, 100 days later, I walked, I'm healed. I don't take any medications. I don't take anything. Totally normal, whatever normal is. And since then, I've been teaching these higher consciousness metaphysics of healing and self-realization to essentially everyone around the world. There's a book, Supercharged Self-Healing. There's a mobile app and course that I put together, and other courses as well that are all related to higher consciousness and how to liberate yourself from suffering. And the main cause of suffering, from my own tangible understanding, is our ego. And so once we start to address that accurately and powerfully, the healing starts to take place.
Sorry, I was muted and I was just blown away. So, yeah, that is such an incredible, unique story. I don't think we've ever heard anybody who's been given this gift at such a young age. And I think what you had said was, in your meditations that you were doing right before, well, while you were working in business, you were getting downloads about why this gift was given to you. Why was this gift given to you, do you think?
Maybe we could say that we all have roles to play.
Mm,
And so this is just the role I play when I incarnate into the lower frequencies of the physical universe. I hope you enjoyed the video. Now, if you are desirous of more of the real you and less of your conditioned, agitated mind, if you know that you can create a life that you're not leading right now, but you know you can, check out my meditation masterclass. It's pinned in the comments below.